Hello, dear ones. Today I want to introduce you to a concept by Eckart Tolle, whom I've already quoted in other videos. He is just so incredibly brilliant in the way he describes our typical human modern problems that I simply want to quote him again. And today it's about the pain body. Welcome to the Soul Club. Today it's about the pain body as described by Eckart Tolle. If you are not yet familiar with Eckart Tolle's books, I highly recommend you check them out. They are also available as audiobooks for those who don't enjoy reading books as much. The pain body, how should I say? It's basically the accumulated old pains from our past, mainly from our childhood, that act like a kind of invisible energy field within us and around us, are there. And if we don't become aware of it, we get completely caught in the trap of this pain body taking control over us. So Eckart Tolle describes it almost like a little living being, somewhat similar to how I always refer to the sabotage monster. So for him, the pain body is like a little parasite, a little monster that lives inside us. And what? In most, let's say, healthy people for the most part, maybe, sleeps. I always imagine it like a monster, like this furry monster lying in a little basket just dozing off. Then we live normally, are happy, and don't notice it. But it can also be activated. It can be awakened, for example, by trigger stimuli. So these can be situations from the outside, for example, when someone gives us a stupid speaker who pushes our buttons and reactivates that old pain from back then, which couldn't be processed yet. And then this pain body wakes up and wants to play, so to speak. So it wants pain. That means it creates situations within you in which you feel pain because it feeds on that and constantly renews itself. That means it attacks you then, internally and externally. So it creates situations for you on the outside that somehow hurt. And it also creates thoughts within you that hurt you because it needs that for its existence, feeds you there. And you notice this, for example, in the form of anger, rage, violence, for example, as well. People who become truly violent, it's actually not them, but their pain body that has awakened. And they have a damn big pain body because they experienced something in their childhood that was so painful they couldn't process and cope with it. And that's still within our system. And I find it quite helpful that Eckart Tolle describes it as if it's a little being living inside us, so we can realize that's not me. So maybe you know situations where you feel the urge to hurt others, especially the people who are actually close to us, whom we actually love. When your partner somehow attacks you by saying something he might not have meant in a bad way, but it really pushes your buttons, then you feel totally attacked and have the urge to strike back. So maybe just verbally, and to say something really, really mean. And afterward, you feel really guilty because you actually love this person. And because you think, oh, I'm so bad. Oh no, and I want to harm someone. Oh no, I'm terrible. That's not you. That's your pain body. Two pain bodies are meeting and want to play. When two people argue, or Eckart Tolle also says, for example, in an accident, when two people are together in a car, speeding or something like that, two pain bodies meet, both trying to create a situation that fully matches their vibrational frequency, their very low vibrational frequency. So, for example, you notice your pain body in depressive moods. You notice it afterward when you have a need. After drama, always telling how bad everything is or how bad someone is again or something like that. That's your pain body. That's not you. I find it really helpful to make that clear. And the tricky part is that this pain body tries to manage to get you to fully identify with it. That means it makes you want more and more pain and even provoke it, maybe in others. No matter if as a victim or a perpetrator or whatever. And then you really believe you are the pain body, but that's actually just its trick, because, of course, it is also very afraid of being discovered, because fundamentally, the pain body is nothing terrible. It's just a kind of shadow. You can imagine it like a kind of shadow, because the shadow has no power anymore. As soon as you turn on the light and shine a flashlight on it, the shadow is gone. And that's exactly what happens with the pain body too. So, if you're now asking yourself, oh my God, I must have a huge pain body inside me. What should I do about it now? Eckart Tolle says it's actually quite easy. All you have to do is look at it, become aware of it. That's why Eckhart Tolle always talks about the power of presence. For him, it's always about being in the here and now. Make it clear to yourself, pain is an illusion. And time is an illusion. We are constantly thinking about the past, not in the present, but in the past or the future. And that creates the pain within us. Actually, it is an illusion. It only comes through thoughts. If you now step out of this identification with your pain body by becoming aware of it, just simply it, observe it, then it dissolves. By simply observing in a completely neutral way, oh, interesting, my pain body has just awakened again. Aha, and already it has no power anymore. It will, of course, not give up immediately. You can expect that it will initially resist you. So it is naturally concerned about its existence. Just becoming aware of it once is not enough. So you have to expect that it will, for example, implant the worst thoughts in you. And your job now is to say, hello, dear pain body. No matter what thoughts you tell me, I don't believe a word of it. So, if it wants to make you feel guilty by making you think the worst thoughts about yourself, that's not you, it's your pain body. You can talk to it. And I think we also have to accept that it will stay for a while. So all these old patterns, when you try to change them, they don't go away immediately. You can imagine it like a wheel. That continues to roll a bit further, even when you've turned off the drive. Even if you no longer consciously fuel your beliefs, they will still be there a little. And this applies to the pain body as well. So the trick lies in observing yourself in your pain, not being identified with it anymore, but stepping out of the identification. And when you become the silent observer, all the old pain gradually transforms into joy. Because you can imagine it as trapped life energy that you had as a child and couldn't be lived out because you couldn't cope with those painful situations at the time. And when this trapped life energy, when you become aware of this pain body, the energy is released again. And then it becomes available to you again as new life energy. And through that, you regain your strength. This is the path out of the pain body, and your entire self-image will indeed change when you suddenly realize, oh, that wasn't me at all. That was just my pain body. Oh, you dissolve it by observing it lovingly. Then it might be a bit frightening. Due to the loss of your identity, that's a bit strange. First, when the path is, and initially leaves a strange feeling of emptiness. And it might also be that for a while you still feel the urge to go back, into the drama, back, into the pain. That will remain for a while, but it will stop over time. The more, often and the longer, you simply observe the whole thing. Then it melts away, like a snowman in the sun. Very slowly, it takes a few days for a snowman to completely disappear when spring comes. But then it's gone. So that's roughly how it is. And your task now, for example, in everyday life, is perhaps to first observe the pain bodies of others as well. That's usually a bit easier. With yourself, you always have those blind spots. So it takes a while until you can observe yourself so well. But you can observe others. When they annoy you or when your partner accuses you of something, you can then recognize when their pain body wants to provoke yours to come out of identification. Maybe you also know situations where you had a terrible argument with your partner, and afterwards you both feel really bad, and then you think, what was that actually about? There was really nothing. It was just, I don't know, the toothpaste tube wasn't closed again or something like that. And then you realize, aha, okay, those were our pain bodies. And you can observe this in your partner, for example, or in others. Or in other people you observe when they quickly become aggressive or something like that. At the moment, we often experience that people's pain bodies in the world are being triggered, for example, when it comes to wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Or, this is my toilet paper. Yes, well, yes. People are fighting over toilet paper and are really not themselves. You can clearly see it in that. These are their old pain bodies where old fears have awakened, which they might not even know they have. And they drive them to a behavior. Something correspond to them. Like when two people in the supermarket are fighting over a roll of toilet paper. For example, that's the thing with the pain body, and we also have a collective pain, says Eckhart. Simply because for hundreds or thousands of years, as humanity, we have waged wars, tortured, murdered, and done other things. There is simply a pain body in our collective. Different peoples also have different pain bodies depending on what they as a people have already experienced. Or he says, for example, women have their own female collective pain body because a lot of suffering has been inflicted on women in past centuries. Yes, so it's not always just about you. You also carry a bit of the collective heritage, just like all of us. And if you might be thinking now, damn it, I have a gigantic pain body, then I can only tell you the bigger the pain body, the greater the opportunity. The potential that lies within it, for healing, for joy of life, and for strength. So much trap, life energy if you gradually release it. Wow, what a powerful person you will become. In everything lies an opportunity, a huge opportunity. And I find this image from Eckart Tolle incredibly helpful because it helps you detach from identifying with your suffering, with your drama. If you realize, I am outside, I still have it inside me. But if I become aware of it, I can also manage it. And tapping always helps, of course. Even if I have such a pain body, I am okay. Hello, dear pain body, thank you for accompanying me for so long. And now your workday is over. Now you can lie back in your basket and go back to sleep. You are no longer needed. Something like that. I tap in that sense. Yes. Feel free to write in the comments if you have ever observed the pain body in yourself or others. Or if you could make any sense of it at all, or if I might have forgotten to mention something important, especially if you've already read Eckhart Tolle's books. And of course, as always, feel free to like my video, subscribe to my channel, or join my Facebook group, titled Love Yourself because you are wonderful. Take care, my dears. Goodbye.